Chapter 14. It was a long week, and I spent a lot of that time holed up in my room. Although it had done me good to see Ryan, it made my life even emptier when he wasn't with me, and I didn't think that was possible. When Friday rolled around, my dad made me go with Nancy to the VFW and to be happy about it. I didn't want to go, but anymore I was just a robot, and I did what he wanted me to do. Nancy explained that every week there was a game night, and not only did people play cards and checkers, but there was a group that liked to sing around the piano. And Pumpkin, they need someone who can play piano. "You're going to be our new pianist," she said with enthusiasm. She said that my dad and her had come up with the idea. "Really?" I asked in an uninterested way. It felt like another church that I'd get kicked out of. "Christmas," she said in a stern way, meaning that I had better shape up my attitude. "Being a pianist here is an important job, and it will be fun. You'll see. Now I want you to be on your best behavior." "Yes, ma'am," I dutifully replied. At least my dad and Bob and Nancy were on speaking terms again. I walked into the VFW with her to find about 30 or 40 old people doing all the things she said they'd be doing. There were 7 people who wanted to sing. Nancy introduced me to everyone who was gathered around the piano. They were all old enough to be my parents, and some of them my grandparents. Most all of them commented that I was a very pretty girl. I played song after song for them, ranging from gospel songs to rock and country songs. Some of them couldn't sing worth a lick, while others were pretty good. One thing about old people is that they're usually better behaved than kids, and this group was no exception. They complimented me on my playing and decided that next Friday night I would sing as well as play. They agreed that I could even play a favorite song of mine. Afterward, we ate cookies and they taught me how to play dominoes. Some of them even joked with me. By the time I got ready for bed that night, I decided that the night hadn't been as horrible as I thought it would be. People had actually paid attention to me, even though it seemed like most of them knew that I didn't play well with others. The next day, after we'd done some chores around the ranch, Daddy and I saddled up our favorite horses and rode in the pasture. "I need you to do something for me if you think you can handle it," he told me. He explained that the crops we planted the year before just didn't produce as they should have. "I need you to decide what plant that would fare the best for whatever weather we have and what would bring us the most profit. You'll work out how much of a crop we plant. You can do that, right?" he asked. I imagined that he was thinking I'd back down from that challenge. The counselor that I had been seeing had mentioned that I needed something to challenge me because everything was too easy. What Daddy was wanting would take some thought, some effort, some planning, some initiative insight. I was up for that challenge. I spent a few days at the library after school researching. One of the books I consulted was the Farmer's Almanac. I rolled the names of crops across my brain, seeing which ones wanted planted. I drew a map and labeled where the corn, green beans, lima beans, and squash would be planted. And of course, corn always wanted to be planted. We'd plant a small patch for ourselves that would include tomatoes, onions, potatoes, cantaloupe, and watermelon. I'd also picked out a site closer to the house to plant a sizable sunflower patch. It was going to be a tourist attraction where people could come and take pictures and buy the flowers. If that went over well, we'd plant a pumpkin patch and gourds for the fall. Daddy was quite impressed with my crop planting plan, and I had answers for everything he asked, including why we were planting certain crops in certain areas. When I told him how much seed we'd need, he said that I had figured that out correctly. I supposed he didn't think I would. The next thing we did was buy the seed and plant it all.